And Clark is in the blue corner. Expect him to work his way in and fight on the inside. And of course, Clark is taller than the two fighters. Lang, hello, thank you. And I expect to see him using his reach and fighting on the outside. But of course, nothing ever goes to plan or expectation, so we'll have to wait and see what actually happens when the bout begins. Seems to be a challenge with the headgear right now for Miller. So they're changing his headgear out to find one more suitable for his head size. Of course, headgear nowadays has to accommodate the hairstyle of the athlete, and many athletes today carry the dreadlock or the long plait, which tends to add some size to to the head, which sometimes can be a challenge for placing and fitting the headgear.
Also a somewhat larger hip hop, and some may argue that headgear is safer, but some athletes argue, oh, this slows me down, this impairs my vision, get this off me. But seeing that there are newer athletes and have fewer votes on their belt, this is
Yes, I believe
mandatory.
athletes have to have at least
But
5 bouts under their belt before they can compete without the headgear. Okay, referee for this round, for this bout is David Strong. First round called.
the Chandler, the sharp opponent, expect using that head movement to get around, and Wayne Clark, the taller opponent, using that jab hand to, you know,
Wait, and there is a clean jab taking the headgear clear off of Miller.
this
Referee calls stop time to allow for the adjustment and replacement of the headgear.
Additionally, this comes back to the argument about the headgear. It's a var- variant of saying it. You don't have to incorporate.
You should be using it in practice, and if you're used to using it in practice, then it shouldn't be a headgear going. It should not be an issue for a boxer. Headgear coming should be an issue for a boxer. You train
I
progressively.
wouldn't say it's an
If you
issue.
train progressively, then you should be used to the head. You should be used to headgear.
I wouldn't say it's an issue. I would say more.
Okay, preference. I will take your comment.
Talking back in the
Okay,
first round.
resumption of round number one. Clark seems to be using his reach pretty well.
And the foot movement seemed to trying to establish his rhythm. Shine trying to also establish his rhythm, but his rhythm was pushing in, getting in. Miller was a nice uppercut from center. Doesn't quite fully connect, but he's still the first round. So they're trying to feel one another.
Seems
Shine
that
with the
Clark is
movement and the counter.
very confident in his ring. Not sure how many fights he's had so far. He seems a lot more relaxed in there against, I would say, the more experienced Miller. Miller having traveled overseas and competed abroad.
I don't think that is simply a challenge for Miller though, saying that he's focused.
But he hasn't really returned much fire. I think if you're looking at punch rate, I would have to say Clark is definitely ahead on the punches.
I agree. Clark is ahead on the punches. He's leading the fight currently. Nice left body shot again.
That's a good counter punch there from Miller. He went to the body, Miller went to the head.
reaching with his hands, with his punches.
The other one, good exchange of jabs there between the two athletes. Just staying out of the custom. Oh, okay, landed there. Uh,
Seeming to get too comfortable dropping that left hand. I don't know if Miller will take advantage of that later on. Seeing he's being confident in the ring, using that hand, letting his body loose.
uh, Clark is my namesake, so I am going to tend to favor him at the moment. Primarily because he's fighting smart, in my opinion, in terms of maximizing his reach, staying out, not allowing Miller to get in and close and staying close.
I agree.
So I think he's being very tactical in his boxing.
Also, Salah Miller is being tactical. He's trying to find his reach, trying to analyze his opponent. Not really on the active side, more so on the punching side. You know, it's still the first round, so he's trying to second round, trying to build that confidence and
And that was
countering
the
and landing
end
back those shots.
of so round one, ending with a straight right from Miller. Effective but glancingly. Who would you say had the advantage of that first round?
First round, talking about Clark. Reach, consistency, composure. He's currently leading the fight. Atan trying to feel out the ring. However, he isn't much on the active side. He's more so on the countering side. So, sure, I would definitely put first round in
I would have to agree
Clark's
with you
spot.
there. I think Clark was definitely more confident in that round. He was throwing, as we say, punches and bunches. He was so confident enough to throw two and three punch combinations, and he was basically balanced. He was also very effective in changing his levels of attack, going from Miller is still, I think, finding his range. We'll see if he gets close to achieving that goal in this second round.
Job Miller trying to, like, to get his attacks on him. Being proposed. Seems he's been for the counter. No. Yes.
Opportunity to put on distance.
Miller is not starting to the pace, he's starting to get more confident. Second round, it's made very well.
Miller picks it to pace, close the gap. Well, that was toward the end of the second round, and he just doesn't have the opportunity to score as necessary. This for me is the uphill for him to play because I would have given those first 2 rounds. So unless he can affect knockdowns in this third round, it'll be very hard for him to come back and take a win.
I I agree. I believe Miller was on the border. They trying to play it to them, but seeing something as a negative consequence. He made it too long. This and on the second round, he's trying to strategies develop his first, but at the same time not consistently building up points. Part is using the job, using the shot combination for slowly building his points.
And you know what they say? It's never over till it's over. This is the third and final bout, number 4. Shan Miller of Zen Life in the red versus Wayne Clark, Jim in the blue.
And now the long score, not really in the favor of Miller. Saying he's not really.
Miller needs the pressure forward. He can't the waiting this here. He's behind. He needs to push them.
Taking advantage of this sort of this positioning. He saw himself in and now he isn't rushing in. He just trying to keep his distance. No,
Miller needs to work his way, get Clark into the ropes, working from there. Work the body and then up to the head.
I'm trying to slightly pace, but not on a consistent basis. Just around keeping his distance, keeping him hands out, give it a shot distance. So that's what he needs to do.
Benefit. Clark seems to be much more command of range here. Control the range and the distance mistake. He uses long punches to jab and the kick in the last day. He's sluggish on those feet. If you notice his legs are straightening as he moves, I think he's full of gas. Because he's not maintaining the bent legs. His legs are straightening, sign of fatigue. I think his spirit is willing, but his passion is willing in this instant.
So you maybe takes up the
Yes,
pace,
body
maybe
shifts to apart,
combination.
follow that. Oh, there is a nice combination. Picking up the pace. Combination picking up from front now. He's picking up the intensity. Miller seems to be waning.
I think the role needs to be reversed or Miller picks up the pace or not. Honestly, Park is you said to do how he used to do. I think this play is Miller needs to
Know what they say?
adjust.
If you're not fit, you can't fight well. And that seems to be the instance here. So the he is fit. Miller seems to be putting on the gas. If you look at the front, he's straightening up like sure sign of fatigue.
Nice counter, but he doesn't effectively flurries after the counter, which is what exactly he just needs on that distance. After closing the distance.